Surprising religious statistics that will change how you see the world. Intro: a world built on belief. What if I told you that more than 6.7 billion people on Earth wake up every day with a religious identity? What if I told you that in some countries, over 95% of the population believes in God, while in others, nearly half the population says they believe in nothing? Religion is not just about prayer. It shapes politics. It shapes wars. It shapes birth rates. It shapes identity. And it may shape the future of humanity. Today, we're diving deep into the most fascinating, surprising, and sometimes shocking religious statistics from around the world. Let's begin. How religious is the world really? Out of roughly 8 billion people, around 84% identify with a religion. Only about 16% identify as atheist, agnostic, or religiously unaffiliated. That means religion remains one of the most powerful global forces. But here's what's fascinating. Even in highly secular countries, belief in something greater often remains strong. People may leave organized religion, but spirituality often stays. Religion isn't disappearing. It's transforming. The Big Five: global religious populations. Christianity, the largest religion. With approximately 2.3 billion followers, Christianity remains the largest religion in the world. But here's the shift. Europe is becoming less religious. Sub-Saharan Africa is becoming the new center of Christianity. By 2050, 1 in 3 Christians may be African. This is a massive demographic transformation. Islam, the fastest-growing major religion. With around 2 billion followers, Islam is the second-largest religion, but statistically, it has the highest growth rate among major religions. Why? Higher average birth rates. Younger population, strong religious retention rates. By 2050, projections suggest Muslims and Christians may be nearly equal in number. That would reshape global religious balance. Hinduism, concentrated but massive Hinduism, has about 1.2 billion followers, most of them in India and Nepal. Unlike Islam and Christianity, Hinduism is geographically concentrated, yet demographically powerful. India's population growth means Hinduism will remain one of the largest religions globally for decades. Buddhism, philosophy or religion? With roughly 500 million followers, Buddhism is unique. In some branches, belief in a creator god is not central. In fact, many people identify as Buddhist culturally, not strictly religiously. This blurs the line between religion and philosophy. The rise of the nones, one of the most fascinating statistics. The fastest-growing religious category in some Western countries is no religion. In places like Czech Republic, Sweden, Japan, South Korea, large portions of the population identify as atheist, agnostic, or religiously unaffiliated. In parts of Europe, this number exceeds 40%. But here's the twist. Many of these individuals still believe in karma, fate, spiritual energy, astrology. They are not necessarily anti-spiritual. They are anti-institutional. Birth rates, the real driver of religious change. One of the strongest predictors of religious growth is not conversion. It's birth rates. Religious families, statistically, tend to have more children. For example, Muslim-majority countries have some of the highest fertility rates. Secular European countries have some of the lowest. This means that future religious demographics are shaped more by families than by missionaries. Demography is destiny. Religion and age, a generational shift. Globally, religious populations tend to be younger. Secular populations tend to be older. In Africa, the median age is under 20 in many countries, and these populations are highly religious. In contrast, Europe's median age is over 40 and less religious. This age gap alone could dramatically shift global religious balance by 2050. Conversion. Who is switching? Contrary to popular belief, religious switching has less global impact than birth rates. However, Christianity gains converts in sub-Saharan Africa and East Asia. Islam sees high retention rates. Buddhism gains Western converts. Many young adults leave organized religion in North America and Europe. Interestingly, once people leave religion in highly secular countries, they rarely return. Religion and wealth. Another surprising pattern. In highly developed countries, religious affiliation tends to decrease. But the United States is an exception. It remains both highly developed, relatively religious compared to Europe. Meanwhile, poorer countries tend to report higher levels of daily religious practice. Economic insecurity often correlates with higher religiosity. But correlation does not mean causation. Culture plays a huge role. Religion and politics. Over 80% of the world lives in countries where religion plays a significant role in politics. In some nations, religious law influences national law. Religious leaders influence elections. Religious identity defines political identity. In others, strict separation exists between church and state. Religion remains deeply embedded in power structures. Digital religion. The online faith revolution. Religion is not declining online, it's exploding. Millions watch religious sermons on YouTube weekly. Apps for prayer, Bible reading, Quran study, and meditation have millions of downloads. Virtual churches and online mosques are becoming normal. During the COVID-19 pandemic, digital worship attendance surged globally. The sacred has gone digital. The future. What will 2050 look like? Based on demographic projections, Christianity and Islam will dominate numerically. Africa will be the center of global religious growth. Europe will likely become more secular. The religiously unaffiliated may plateau rather than dominate. Religious diversity will increase in urban areas worldwide. Religion is not vanishing. It is shifting geographically. Final thought. What do these numbers really mean? Statistics are not just numbers. They are echoes of billions of lives. Behind every percentage is a grandmother whispering a prayer, a child learning a sacred story for the first time, a community gathering in hope, in fear, in gratitude. Numbers tell us where we come from. They reveal what we believe, and they hint at where we might be going. Religion has survived collapsing empires, world wars, revolutions, scientific discoveries, the rise of the Internet, and the age of artificial intelligence. It has adapted to printing presses, radio waves, television screens, and now social media feeds. It has moved from temples carved in stone to digital spaces in the cloud. Yet despite all this change, one thing remains constant. Humanity continues to search for meaning. In the 21st century, belief is not disappearing. It is transforming. In some places, traditional religious affiliation is declining. In others, it is growing faster than ever. Spirituality is becoming more personal for some, more communal for others. Some people are leaving organized religion, but not abandoning faith. Others are rediscovering ancient traditions in modern ways. So maybe the real question is not, will religion disappear? Maybe the real question is, how will belief evolve in a hyper-connected, technologically advanced world? What happens to faith in the age of artificial intelligence? What does spirituality look like in virtual reality? Can science and religion coexist in deeper harmony? And perhaps the most important question of all, is religion simply humanity's search for meaning? A psychological need? A cultural inheritance? Or is it something deeper, something embedded in human nature itself? Maybe religion is not just about doctrines and institutions. Maybe it is about identity, belonging, hope, fear, love, purpose. The statistics show trends, but the future is still being written by us. So now I want to hear from you. What do these numbers mean to you? Do you think religion will grow, decline, or transform into something entirely new? Is faith becoming stronger, or simply different? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Let's start a conversation.